We see the world as we are. Thanks. Welcome to Positive Emotional Healing. This is Roger McDonald, your host. We see the world as we are. Carl Jung talked about the shadow and how we have, every human being has this deep, dark, well, we can label it dark, but we have these suppressed animal drivers that we repress, we project out onto everyone else in the world. So the negativities we see on other people, in the world, and what's happening in general, in the external environment, is what we see about ourselves. But this is obviously the dark side of positive people, because you might think I'm a positive person, I have a positive attitude, but I hate so-and-so. I really dislike such and such. This really drives me nuts. But I'm a positive person, I'm a great person, I'm an awesome person. I think positive, I'm positive, I love myself. Yeah, the way we see ourselves is the way we see the world. A good tool that you can use for yourself, and I use it every day, because you can catch yourself. You may think you're the most positive, super woke person in the world, but the negativity you start seeing in the world is some of your deep, dark negativities about yourself. So if you're seeing, obviously, the world is full of lies, the world is full of, maybe there are some lies within yourself that you're telling yourself. Maybe you see yourself as full of lies. Maybe if you see the world as unfair and unjust, maybe you see yourself as unfair and unjust. Maybe there's some things you've done in your past that you perceive as being unfair and unjust that happened to you or that you did to others. The way we see the world is the way we see ourselves. We see the world as we are, yeah? So it's an interesting tool. If you are a person who desires to be self-aware, you can catch yourself. You can catch yourself judging. You can catch yourself labeling things that are happening in the world. Oh, look at such and such, such an idiot. Look at this, how crazy they are. How idiotic is that people, that tribe in another country. Interestingly enough, when you say to yourself, and this is for the self-help people, the spiritual people who want to, think, I want to love everybody. I want to unconditionally love every person in the world like Jesus did. You want to be a great person. As soon as you make that intention, it's like everything that is not love within you surfaces. It's like it bubbles to the surface. It's like you're putting a pot of water there, and at first it looks just like a normal pot of water, but then after time you can see all the little bits of stuff in the water floating to the surface. You can start to see it, and then you can start to heal it and work on it. So I know a lot of spiritual people who watch this will have the intention. They want to be unconditional loving. They want to be a great person. They want to love themselves. They want to love others. And then it's like once you have that intention, it's then like these negativities still keep bubbling up. And if you're an aware person, you'll know that those negativities in your mind, they're you. You're picking up what you're perceiving in the outside world is you. How you're perceiving others behaving is you, good and bad. Obviously the duality of good and bad, what we label as good and bad, more good or less good behavior from others, is what we are in ourselves. So if you're having a predominant obsessive negative thought about someone or something in the external environment, have a look at yourself and think, how do I think like that? How do I behave like that? You'll find that it's a really brilliant tool. You'll find that you're doing what they do. You're doing what they do on some level in your life, maybe with your family, maybe at your work, and you're not aware of it. But what you're perceiving and what's sort of bugging you about other people is what's really bugging you about you. And the process of, before you go out and try and heal the world and change the world, it's that cliche, but there's a lot of truth to it. Change yourself and then you change the world, because how we perceive the world is through ourselves. Like when you're not here anymore, when you pass away, the world stops. Contrary to popular opinion, it does not go on, because how we perceive the world is through our five senses. Your eyes, your ears, what you smell, your five senses and more other senses are perceiving the world. So when what you understand as you is not around, the world as we know it ends. It doesn't go on. Reality does not continue, because reality is perceived through you. Is that a bit deep? You might want to listen to it a few times. It took me a long time, and it's obviously something I still work on, and I catch myself having little negativities. But you also got to understand that you're one molecule, you're one little sort of grain of sand in an ocean, in a world of beaches. The world is full of people, and the external world is operating on you. So if you catch yourself thinking negative thoughts, and you perceive yourself as an evolved, growing, woke kind of person, that may not be coming from you. It may be just something you're in rapport with your external environment. You want to be in rapport, you're out in the world, and you're just feeling what people are feeling. You're sensing what people are sensing, and you're thinking what people in general are thinking. It's interesting how human beings operate. You know, if you might be a really positive person, and then you walk into a room, or you start work at a workplace of really negative people, because there's more people than you tend to become more negative. The opposite is true. If you might be a really negative person and you go to work at a workplace which is really positive, the opposite is true. You'll start to, because you're seeking rapport, if you want to work there long term, you'll start to pick up on the way those people think, what they value, and how they perceive the world, and what they believe about themselves, and the feelings that they have on us on a daily basis. You'll start to pick up on that, because we are unconsciously seeking rapport with our environment. It's like a survival mechanism. We go into an environment, you walk into a strange room, you walk into a bar or a pub, you're seeking rapport with the environment, because you kind of like, it's a safety thing. It's programmed into us. It's from in our genetics, in our DNA, we seek rapport. So sometimes we're picking up, it's like we're an antenna, receiving antenna. We're picking up other people's feelings. You've ever had that feeling where you kind of, someone may be smiling to you and saying all the right things, but the feeling you're getting from them is quite negative and hostile. And you may be thinking, wow, is it me? Am I weird? You know, what's going on? But you're just perceiving, you know, we're sensory beings. We are perceiving and picking up what's going on around us on a continual basis. We see the world as we are. So, in conclusion, if you want to see the world as better, maybe start to see yourself and continue to see yourself as better than yourself. This is Roger McDonald from Positive Emotional Healing. I trust and hope that you got some great value from this video. Have a fantastic day.